morning, everyone. It's a new day. And guess what? We are already in 2020. And we thank the good Lord for bringing all of us into this new year. And from DNT to our viewers who are watching us across Ghana, we say Afio, Afi, Afishapa to all of you. And the rest of our viewers watching us across Africa and the rest of the globe, we say a happy new year to all of you. We thank God. And next year by this time, we'll be here sharing these moments with you. My name is Ama Bimpoma, and I'll be doing this with my colleague.
I am Kofi Oponocho. We say a very big thank you for joining us this morning on Rush Hour, your super exciting morning show that we seek to inform you with everything happening in the country. And for sure, especially our diaspora community, we represent you. So we're going to make sure that whatever policy made by government, we'll see how it benefits the diaspora community with entertainment. We give you all that you need to know. So I am Kofi Oponocho, and it's Rush Hour on DNT.
Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thanks once more for joining us and then staying all through when we went for that quick break. But Ama, how was Christmas with you? 2019 Christmas and the transition into the new year.
Into the new year. The Christmas holidays was amazing for me because this is the first time ever that I had events to attend each day.
Wow.
And trust me, I had fun. I
Okay.
danced myself out. I really had fun this time.
And I'm sure that part of the events that you attended was the crossover.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, people actually attended crossover at drinking sports. And it was funny to...
No, I think that it has become something with Ghanaians that we have to go into the church. But if you find yourself in a quiet place that you can, have some time for yourself and think through everything probably you went through the previous year and then calculate whatever you want to do in the new year. The environment doesn't really matter if you are able
Whether you
to
are in
soak that
church or-
sober moment and then reflect about everything.
Yeah, but I also think that the Christmas, yes, it was quite exciting. The December in GH, organized by the Ghana Tourism Authority, was quite a great event. And we had a diaspora people who came down to the country.
Yes.
They really enjoyed themselves.
They did.
With Dirty Rave and all the shows
Yeah,
in town. They
Rick
were quite
Ross,
exciting. And I think it's a lovely one.
Beyonce's mom.
Everybody was in
Yes,
town.
yeah.
I mean, the 200,000 people that we saw the previous year, it was a great thing to see them celebrating the year of return with all of them. But let's now go for our quote of the day.
Great. Okay, so the key to life is accepting challenges. Once someone stops doing this, he's dead. From Bette Davis.
Wow. It is quite deep. The key to life is accepting challenges. So if you don't
Yes.
accept the challenges, how can you overcome those challenges?
Obviously. So definitely there were some issues that most of us went through
Yeah.
the previous year. And if we learn to accept those ones and make the necessary changes, then 2020 will be definitely better for us.
Yeah, sure, because those challenges that we've been able to overcome, that's the reason why we are in 2020, actually.
Okay.
So the vision is quite clear and open. And I have one thing to inform everybody. Just a quick announcement. We have some crop of people who celebrate their birthday once every 4 years.
Okay,
So
the
it's
February
good.
people.
Yeah, the 29th February. It's good to inform you that this year, those born on 29th February will be celebrating their birthday once again after 4 years. Just after celebrating the 400 years.
So how
your
old
return-
would they be?
I don't know. So if you were 16 years the previous celebration of yours, it means this year you are going to be 20 years and you're going to be celebrating 20 years. Birthday once again.
Okay, so before we go straight to the newspaper review, let's go for a quick break. Okay, guys, you are welcome back. If you just tuned in, you are watching the Rush Hour coming to you live from the studios of Diaspora Network Television. And this segment is a newspaper review. And moving straight to Daily Graphic. Okay, let me introduce my guest for today. We have Mr. David Akanazer, the NPP National Communications Team member. And we also have Mr. Anthony Ni Ajete Ajay, a political analyst and also a teacher. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before we go straight to the headlines today, kindly share with us how your 2019 was, the highlights of everything that happened in this country, from the missing of the Tadi girls, the, leak voice notes of some political party heads, the president settling the issue in Gabon, and this Trans-Togoland issue. How was it like for you?
Well, let me say good morning to you and good morning to your cherished viewers.
Thank you.
And say a happy new year also to you and everyone listening or watching us wherever your network reaches. Okay. I think 2019 was a mixed year.
Okay.
Full of, ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, I think the biggest story would be the missing the Takoradi girls,
Okay.
which was a dent on our image.
Obviously.
But we have to put it behind us and look forward, praying that it will not reoccur. And I think that incident also put a new challenge to the security agencies. Now they are beefing up their game. So we are hoping that, because until that time, kidnapping wasn't one of the key crimes that we always recorded in this country. But now it has alerted the security agencies to focus on that so that it doesn't recur.
Okay.
So we hope it will never happen again, because it is not something to, worthy talking about.
Okay.
Then we can also talk about the Dagbon issue that you brought about.
Yes.
It's a landmark case that the president was able to achieve. That for a very long time we're trying to find peace in that area, so as to also propel development.
Okay.
But at long last, we were able to achieve something, and I think going forward, we are not going to experience any war again among the same people.
Okay.
So it is a positive.
Sure.
Then there are so many other things.
Yes.
There are so many other things. So for me, I think it was not a bad year, but it has its own ups and downs, and also taught us a lot of lessons that will make us, as going forward, make us a better people and a better country. And
even the completion of the cleanup exercise, the banking cleanup exercise.
Fantastic, fantastic, because from the way things were going, the sector, public confidence in the banking sector was going down. And that is an area that confidence, that depends on confidence. Because when confidence is low, then people's savings culture is going to be low as well. But now that that sector has been cleansed, confidence level is rising again. And going forward, we believe that it is going to encourage a lot of people, or Ghanaians, to improve their saving culture. And for me, that is very good for our country. And if you look at the figures, you realize that the banking sector profit is increasing. So it therefore means that we are doing the right thing. And we should commend ourselves for taking the right, especially the governor of the Bank of Ghana, for taking that bold step, because it wasn't that easy. But he had to be bold to take that decision. And we are all of us are now seeing the dividends.
Okay. So what are we to expect moving into 2020? Election year. We
should expect the best. Look, the Ghanaians should rest assured that the best of this government, the best of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is yet to happen.
Wow.
What we have seen previously, even we have seen some signs, but those were just the basics,
Preliminary. Okay.
laying the foundation,
Right.
correcting the mess that we came to inherit.
Okay.
Now we are going to see um, the results that are responding to the measures that we put in place.
Okay.
So I am confident and hopeful that 2020 and beyond, there is no alternative. The only alternative is the MPP, and Ghanaians should have confidence in that party. And we are going to make Ghana the Singapores, the Malaysias, the South Koreas.
Wow,
So
that's
the
great.
confidence should be in the MPP, and all should support and rally behind this government.
Okay. Now, Mr. Jete,
Yes,
I saw you smiling. How was 2019 for you?
Yeah, I'm going to say a very good morning to you and wish you a happy new year.
Thank
With your
you.
production team, first time being here. Quite a
Wow.
very nice place. I'm really elated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was smiling. 2019, to answer your question, 2019 was a very interesting year.
Yeah.
I'll put it simple that way. Interesting year for me
A lot of
and for the country as a whole.
Okay.
Because it's a mixed bag
Yeah.
of, let me say, achievements, cynicism, sensationalism. I mean, it's a whole lot of things.
Okay.
And then the year of return to coming in. But I think 2019 is a year that we should look back and say that God has been good to us.
Okay.
You know, I was smiling because my brother is the Akame is
Yeah.
the usual, you know, the political twist of things. You know, if I should draw your mind back to 1995, I quite remember in Parliament, ex-President Rawlings told Parliament about the Vision 2020.
Yeah.
And he said that we're going to change Ghana into
Exactly.
Singapore. You know, that's why I was
Yeah,
smiling.
We all had that picture.
The picture of
2020.
Singapore, because Ghana being changed to Singapore in the next few years. So we had that Vision 2020. But the
Yes.
question is, what has happened to the Vision 2020? And so if my brother is telling us to do that, we're going to make Ghana again to the Singapore. No, you know, he's right. You know, I agree with him to some extent. I'm one very optimistic person when it comes to some of those. Because we have Ghana being a very good potential country. If we lend ourselves to, we can make Ghana a very good country I want it to be. But going to your question about 2019,
Yeah.
I think my highest point in 2019 is the year of return. But I'll come to that. But it's a backbone issue which was resolved.
Yeah.
Many people forget to know that that issue spans over decades,
Yeah.
about 4, 5 decades.
Wow.
And it has been nagging this country for a very, very long time.
Hanging around
And I
our
mean,
necks.
looking at the economic issue, the cohesion between the people of Dagbon and all the setbacks, I should tell you, if it takes a single president to achieve that peace, whether it began 20 years, 40 years, what we need was a peace, and the peace was achieved. So we should give the president that kind of thumbs up for.
Okay.
I mean, it is a style that thing was achieved. So for me, I think it was one of my highest points of the year. And then when it comes to the tardy girls, you know, it's sad. That comes in with the sensationalism.
Yeah.
You know, my very joy or my very passion of politics comes into either diplomacy and international relations or security.
Okay.
You know, we play too much in this country for our security, way too much, you know. And I think, as my brother said, the security has learned their lessons.
Obviously.
We sensationalize the whole issue. The third issue didn't start just last year. You know,
Okay.
it came up, it was running. It came up when the gentleman ran away or jailbreak in
Break,
quotes.
yeah.
I
And he
mean,
was
whether it
rearrested.
was assisted, whatever, he broke cells or he broke jail in quotes. And that's when people started,
News became haywire.
you know, the security had their own lapses.
Yeah.
I have my misgivings about some of the things that went on, but you can't blame them. You can't blame them. But at the same time, too, I think if they had a very cool head, we could have reached a very good consensus. Especially when this post-mortem issue, I mean, all
the
this was.
stories
I
were
mean,
just too many.
it was too many angles were drawn to it, and you know, it really affected the government in a way.
Yeah.
When those things happen, it draws us back. And then within the same moment, we had these Canadian girls also coming in
Exactly. How we
know,
were swift in responding
to those things. And, you know,
rescuing them.
not being swift in responding. You know, the Canadian girls are probably, you know, we can't give much when it comes to security in the sense. The point is that the foreigners, or when they come into our country, they are very security conscious. You know, like the phones we are having, they may have trackers on their phone.
Okay.
You may not have tracker on your phone. I don't have tracker on my phone.
I don't see that.
But I know I know the essence. So lo and behold, you know, probably the security were able to track their phones to see wherever they are. But it's not just by or probably intelligence. Intelligence is all about giving information. Yes, you see. So I think these two issues really, but the third issue is not yet over. I was thinking they could have, yes, I trust the pathologists who did the thing, but I was thinking for avoidance of doubt, they could have even allowed international pathologists or forensic pathologists to do those things. So I think, in a whole, the year was interesting year for us, but it was good. It was good.
Okay.
Yes, it was good to us. Yeah.
So on the front page of the Daily Graphic,
Yes.
there is 2020 is here, and Ghanaians celebrate with church service and entertainment. Now, I'm reading a little bit of it. Ghanaians across the country ushered in New Year with various activities, and predominant being church service and vigils. While many Christians found themselves in churches, others welcomed the New Year in blustering mood in pubs, drinking spots, and places where entertainment was the order of the day. Now, with regards to Christians, the period leading to the New Year could be described as a period of victory of most of them, clad in mostly white apparels. And okay, so let me just go straight and ask how you crossed over.
Wow. Well, you know, we Ghanaians are mostly religious.
Yes.
And for me, it is not bad to be religious. Because if God has been so good to you, right from the beginning, especially now we know we ended a decade and we are now beginning a new decade.
Yes.
Then we have every cause to, express our gratitude to Him. And also enter the new year, and for that matter, the new decade, with hope. Okay? Yeah, expecting the best to happen. It is always good to, welcome the new year with excitement, with hope, with vim, with a whole lot of expectations. But most importantly, it is not the year itself, the new year itself, that will bring us new things. It is the mindset that we enter the new year with, our attitude, our approach to issues. If we continue to do things the way we used to do, then we'll continue to have the same results. But the new year must come with new attitude, new mentality, new approach, new way of doing things, so that we can expect to have new results. But I am still confident that this 2020 is going to be a good year.
Wow.
It's going to be...
I'm very hopeful too.
Sure. We should all be hopeful, and most importantly, be positive, have positive energy, and be hardworking, up and doing, time conscious, and be much more disciplined. In our environment, we should not be littering around. We should keep our environment clean. We should be responsible citizens. Yeah. We should make sure that we keep the best government in power. That's the most important thing. That's what, you see, and that brings in what my senior brought about the Singapore issue. You see, when in 1995 we made that declaration, what happened? You remember when President Kufuor came, during his time, he picked Ghana and a HIPIC economy. By the time he was exiting in power, we were middle income lower. Yeah. What happened from there? You realize that from 2009, especially 2012, up to 2016, we slide back. And that is what we are saying, that, you see, the available evidence shows that whenever MPP is in government, this country moves faster towards our development. And that is why we say that Ghanaians should support this government, because the evidence shows that whenever we are in power, we accelerate the development of this. And this one is not propaganda. The evidence is there. The evidence is there.
The
So
figures
please,
can show.
when we put the right party or government in power, and we support them, then we will surely be, because by now we should have been a middle country by proper, not lower, but we are still struggling under the lower that we were since 2008.
Okay. Mr. Eka,
But-
I'll come back to you.
But definitely and surely, with the support of the good people of this country, under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we will get there.
All right, thank you. Now, let's hear the other side of the
Well,
analyst.
Yeah, I'm amazed the way that Ghanaians are religious, as you want to put it.
Yes.
I don't want to call it religious. It's good you come close to God. We all have our religion.
Okay.
We are spiritual, But
Yeah.
normally I don't like to discuss matters of religion because it's passionate, like politics.
Yeah.
You understand? But
Delicate.
I think it draws something in our hypocrisy as Ghanaians.
So it takes me back to Kofi Kinata's.
yeah,
But,
things fall apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you subject it to theological implications, you see that the guy was saying something spiritual. He wasn't saying it from his own inklings
It was
or
more like
inclinations.
philosophical.
Yes, philosophical. What am I saying? I mean, it's good to get close to God. I crossed mine at the Independence Square. My religion is Jesus Christ. I don't believe in any church. I don't, I attend church all right, but I don't fix it on church.
Okay.
The way and manner that we do our religious things, if we do the same thing to Ghana will not be where we are. It was good. We have lots of people going to church on 31st to pray to God, to usher us into the new year, to pray for the country. It's very good. But what I'm trying to say is that if we can use that energy, that how we love God, to love our country. I'm not comparing our country to God, but God is in our country.
Yeah,
You see,
I
that's why I don't want to
understand.
discuss religion. Probably if there's a religious man here, we can go into that. You see, and we come out of that place, become a leader. As he was saying, become a leader. We are the same people who become corrupt.
Corrupt.
We are the same
That's-
people who give kickbacks. We are the same, So I wonder, when we say we are religious, as you put it, I don't want to call it religious. I call it spiritual. But if you say we are religious for the sake of your definition, I think it is true. But it doesn't show in whatever we do in this very country. And it was so refreshing that we go into the new decade. Look, the decade is second decade of the 21st century, and it's running very fast. So I think it was good we are doing that, and there were many prophecies. I've still
Yeah,
not
coming in,
I've,
flying
you know,
over.
you know, I've still not got heard of the normal
Most of
prophecies.
the- yeah.
Probably yesterday I was off any place social media, so I
Okay.
didn't know what's happening. But I think it's good for Ghana that God is holding us because at least we are religious, but if we can translate that spirituality into helping our country, I think we're one of the
That would be
very
great.
beautiful countries in the world. Let me tell you something. China, very religious country. Thailand, very religious country. Singapore, very religious country. And you see how they are progressing.
Developing.
It's not about building churches. When in UK they are destroying churches to create factories, we are destroying factories to create what?
Churches.
Churches. You see the dichotomy. So
Yeah.
I think that I'm not saying we shouldn't worship God. I'm very spiritual, very religious, But I think that we should. God says that heaven helps those who help themselves. It's not in the Bible. Not everything is in the Bible, but it is biblical in a way. So I think that it's good. We
Okay.
thank God that we have gone into, we had a year of excellence, and that excellence will take Ghana to places.
Obviously.
So it was good we went into the year with God.
Okay, so moving straight to
Yeah.
our next topic, beyond year of return. Now, Ghana looks to diaspora for more trade and investment. Now, President Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has called on Ghanaians to engage Africans in the diaspora and people of African descent more positively in areas of trade and investment. And I think this is a good call by the President.
A very, very fantastic call, because Africa will not be developed by the Europeans. Africa will not be developed by the Americans. Africa will be developed by
ourselves.
Africans.
Yeah.
So, if our brothers who have been, in the Americas to help them build their economies can come back with those knowledge acquired and those money that they have and come help build our African continent, then definitely Africa will be built. Because, like I've said, the Europeans will never come and build it for us until we build it ourselves. So that call by the president is in order, and I hope our brothers in the diaspora will respond positively to that call, because Africa has got a lot of potentials that we can take advantage of and become the next big thing if only we are committed to doing it. And you can see all over the continent now, democracy is now beginning to thrive, unlike previously, whereby it was a continent of coup d'etats. Now we are embracing them. Yeah, we are now embracing democracy. Education is growing. So it is becoming the best place to invest. There are so many potentials, so many. When you talk of tourism, the opportunities are there. If you're talking of technology, the opportunities are there. If you're talking of even the oil sector, the opportunities are there. Then you talk about our most competitive advantage, agriculture. The opportunities are vast. So the call should be heeded to agents. And I think one of them, even, is it Akon, call on his brothers to come buy land here and invest, which is good, because I bet you the next century or even less, Africa is going to be the place to be. So this is the best time for people to start acquiring lands and start investing. So the call that the president made, for me, is an appropriate call. And our brothers and sisters in the diaspora should hit that call and come before it is too late.
Okay. So my question would be, how are we preparing to receive these investors? How are we making things easy for them to come in? Looking at the kind of registration process we go through, the kind of even rent system we go through here. And sometimes I think these things, frustrates them and they don't stay, even though they have good intentions to establish here in Ghana.
I agree with you perfectly. You see, we are talking about two different cultures.
How do we merge the two?
Exactly. Now, it appears that the moment some of them come, they feel frustrated because they feel things are not being done the way they want it to be done as over there. And sometimes, I understand them, but sometimes they also need to be patient. Because we have heard stories whereby some of them came back and they were frustrated by the system that they have to go back.
Home. Yeah.
One thing that, like in regard to registration, business registration, this government is doing everything to make registration online, whereby it's done digitally. Okay. So where you don't have to be meeting people, whereby they'll be asking, give us this, that will be taken off and things will be made easier. Okay. So going forward, we also need to improve things, as a people.
What of accommodation? Because once they get in, the first thing is where they would want to live.
There are so many rental properties I cropping up across the country. Okay. So for me, I think that shouldn't even be a big issue, because
it is. Someone told me one of the headaches in Accra, or one of the killer diseases in Accra, is looking for accommodation. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. When you are asked to pay 3 years or 2 years advance.
Yeah.
That's a business capital right there. Yeah.
That is okay. Then it's something that the authorities
Yeah,
have to.
affordable housing, and we are not seeing them. They are still
How
uncompleted.
affordable is affordable?
That is it.
You see, but if you are coming to settle here, that even that is also an investment opportunity, because you can also acquire land and put up some of this accommodation or build an apartment, and even also rent it out to some of your colleagues who will be coming, and in a way that will be convenient for them. That is even an opportunity. It's also a business opportunity, because if you think the existing ones are inconvenient for you, then
Okay.
take advantage of that.
All right.
Build
Mr.
one.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Jiti,
Yeah.
what do you have to say to this?
You know, I'll begin by saying something that the president said. He said this is beyond his
The
words.
year of return.
Yeah, it's beyond his imagination. I hope you heard him when
Yeah.
he said, in one word, he was shocked at the kind of success that the year of return chalked,
Yeah.
and it was beyond what he was even expecting. You know, and to start from that, you know, Ghana has really put ourselves on the map.
Obviously.
Our major problem is that we want to tie our development to Africa all the time. It's something that I always disagree with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, a very great man. I must be very frank with you. At times, you have to be very selfish. In quotes, selfish in quotes, in terms of your personal development. I've not seen Singapore tying its development to that
any
of
other
Asia.
country, yeah.
But they do it subtly. Anytime we want to tie our development to Africa, we get set back. The diasporans coming in are coming from other places, other continents, you know, the Caribbean, the North Americans, even the Asia and the Europe. Let's be selfish in a way. They're coming to Ghana.
Yeah.
They should come and invest in Ghana. It's a very good call. Come and invest in Ghana. Not because when they invest in Ghana, yes, it will usher to Africa and all those things. You know, if you look at the statistics that is coming in, already we are having over 220,000 people coming in. Our airport rate has shot to about 18%, 45% of visits within this
That's
1 year.
amazing.
Amazing. Tourist improvement has risen over 18 to 20% within the time. I'm here to take today the final statistics today, as of 3 days ago, what I was checking.
Okay.
You know, and tourism is something that can bring money to us. And now, you know, when you talk about all those things, it's not just that when we say tourism is visiting. It's not visiting. Not people are even going into sports tourism.
Yeah.
Look at Qatar. You know, time is not on our side. Like, you know, I would have given you a series of
For
examples.
examples.
Dubai began with this housing tourism. Then it came on
Yes.
to the mechanized. I mean tourism. This visiting and all. Now they are doing hospital or health tourism, and they are going to even going on to host the World Cup in a way, telling you they are even Qatar is going to sports what tourism, and it helps the country. And if the country can rake in about 1.6 billion plus within this 1 year, it should tell you what we need. But you are saying, you know, Akon said they should come and invest in Ghana. It's not just the investment. Security counts, accommodation, our transportation. Look,
Yes.
within these few days, the gridlock in Accra itself should tell you that we're not planning well. You know,
Our roads.
and look at accommodation, as my brother was saying. Even before they come in, where should they stay before they can do all those investments?
Exactly.
And you know, we are very selfish, greedy, in the right sense of the word as a Ghanaian. If I see you as a foreigner, I want
And
within the
people are
day.
increasing their hotel rates, their
And
food
it's not
prices,
good.
all because there are people, there
It's
are
not
foreigners in
good.
town.
You want to do business. Look, you go to Rwanda and you are even renewing your driver license. Within 2 days, it comes to you in the house. One day business registration in your house. You know, I don't want to go into that politics of the house, but I'll commend his government for doing one thing, the GPS system.
Yeah.
You know, if we can do this, you see, we should wait. We are lacking behind. There is no time for anything now. Our development rate is too way slow. And when they are coming, is their money. Why should you come when we are having land litigation and all those things happening in Accra?
Of course.
In other places. So I think that, you know, we can cash in on this leverage on what the president is saying beyond the return, year of return, bring in this diasporans, African diasporans into Ghana. Let's be selfish
trade.
in quotes. And then we give them the ambience. I'm not saying it should be free or lawless, but we can give them that kind of leverage or that kind of freedom in a way to be able to go about their businesses, good security, good transport. I mean, the ambience for them to work well, to invest their money, because it's money.
Yeah.
When Cardi B came to Ghana, right, how much didn't she spend at a hotel?
Yeah.
You will take your tax from it. Over $12,000 per night. Convert it into old Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
And you see the amount
Lots of
per
money.
night. And imagine she spends 1 week in Ghana. The tax raking even to Ghana is colossal. So I think we should think forward and speed up our development. And I think it's a good call. Beyond the year of return,
All right.
I mean, it's a good call. Yeah.
Okay, so let's delve straight into the election mode. EC to compile new voters register. Now, the Electoral Commission has firmed up its decision to compile a new voters register for 2020 general elections.
Yes, I think they give good reasons why
Okay.
we need that register. We have come to that stage that they are saying that the old register there's problem with it.
So we need to clean it up.
But we should also understand that if the Electoral Commission, the Constitution of Ghana, gives them that right to compile, a register of voters of this country.
Okay.
If they deem it right to change the existing one, or they have issues with the existing one, it is within their mandate to compile a new one. So we must all accept the fact that they have the right to do it. Now, the old one, we all know. You remember this, there was a court case that there are some people who register with the Ghana health insurance that they are not supposed to.
Yes.
It was wrong for them to have used that card. The courts instructed the Electoral Commission to expand those names there.
From the register.
As I sit here, I am not sure all of them were expunged from the register.
Okay.
Even though they told us that the previous EC administrators told us that but I am not convinced that all of them were expunged. Again, if someone was guaranteed by someone who registered with the National Health Insurance, how will you be able to trace even that person to remove his name or her name from the register? Then again, the software that they are using, they say it is obsolete.
Yeah.
The software is obsolete, which even the NDC, who is opposing the new register, also agree that even if it's they agree that it's obsolete, but they are saying that okay, if it is obsolete, then replace it with the updated one.
Okay.
The Electoral Commission says if you want to do that update, the cost is even much higher than replacing it.
Okay.
That is the argument. So they are saying that okay, then the best thing is that let's go for a new one. For me, I don't see what is wrong with this. How is compiling a new register for all of us with a new biometric system, advanced one, in technology also, things keep changing. The phones, the software that was used to compile the existing national register was in 2012.
Yeah.
How many phones produced in 2012 are still functioning well today? Because of technology. You keep changing things. So for me, I agree with the Electoral Commission that a new register needs to be compiled, which even the Constitution gives them the right to do. Then some people are raising the cost. Oh, it's going to cost us some huge money, so we should not. Fine. If we all agree that we don't have money to do a new register because we need to build hospitals, because we need to build roads, because we need to pay salaries, if that is the case, then we must also agree that we just had a lesson just 3 years ago. Okay, so then 2020 we should not hold election. Use that money for other developmental projects. If you can
I think
agree
this is
that,
where opportunity costs come in.
Yeah.
We need to decide on what we want and use the little money we have for that.
but the point of the matter is that when the constitution instructs you to do something, you can't. Okay? That is why the Electoral Commission cannot say they are not going to hold election in 2020. So, because the constitution says by every 4 years, do it. So, whether you have money or don't have money, you have to hold that elections.
Okay.
So, when you have a need to do a new register, you don't say you don't have the money, because that is your constitution. You are there to do it.
all right.
So
I'll-
if you
I'll
have a
come back
reason
to
to
you,
do
so
it,
you conclude
then
on
you have
that.
to do it. So money shouldn't become an excuse.
Mr. Nia JT.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting how we treat issues in Ghana. But I think in 2020, going to the new decade, it will change.
Okay.
When we leave this country to these two parties, this country will go down the drain. We won't get any headway. We've made them too powerful, honestly. And I think it's time that thing is, God, the middle voices should now come out.
Okay.
It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing with the EC. You see, the EC is an independent body. I know we'll come back to this issue along the year because
Yes.
it's still running. So I won't waste time. I will just make it snappy, then we will move on. You know, these two parties don't have trust for each other. The same way they don't have trust for the EC. You know, and I think they shouldn't bring those things to affect every Ghanaian. But to go on what the EC is going to do, the EC is mandated to do whatever it wants to do in terms of administering our elections. No political party, no individual can take the EC on or prevent it from doing so, except the Supreme Court of Ghana,
Okay.
when it goes against the Constitution. So if you disagree with the EC or you agree with whatever, the best place to go is the Supreme Court for whatever to be done. The EC per the ECOWAS protocol are 6 months not to vary any electoral rules. But yeah, it's not even vary electoral rules. They are saying we have machines. And as I was saying, it's true. Technology every day is advancing.
Yeah.
And you know, they are saying the software we are having is
Obsolete.
it's obsolete. In 2004, we had this revision. 2008, we had new register. 2012, we had it. But you know, within 2015, 2016, if you should look at the amount spent on limited voter register, it hits almost over 400 million Ghana cedis. And they are saying we're going to spend about 390.3 or roughly around $400 million Ghana cedis in provision of new biometric verification management systems, which will cost somewhere around, is it 34 million per unit or something like that. Then they need kits to also use. And the kit, you know, we have about 22,000 plus, increase even now, polling stations. So multiply that by about 2,500 or 3,500 US dollars per kit. How much will you get? That should go aside. But you see, one thing that touches my heart when the EC says they want to change it is the facial recognition system. You know, we are doing manual verification. Do you know that? And during the 2016, we did about 73,000 manual verification. Do you know what 73,000 can cost in an election?
Wow.
And just ended district assembly elections, which the turnout was very low, about a little above 5 million. We did over 36,000 manual verification. Look, it's serious. It's very, very serious. So if DC is saying we are bringing new technology, you know, when you look at it, you know, I have not seen I've seen snipers of EC's proposal. When you look at what they are bringing in, they are going to acquire their own system, which we are going to manage. We wouldn't go to buy any. I'm not justifying it for the EC. What I'm saying is, it's not about you agreeing or disagreeing with the EC. You know, and if all this is coming in, and I'm coming, I cannot do manual. When I can't find my card, I can go. Once a kit comes in, they will see my face. Yes, go and vote. Than doing this manual thing, which I can bring you in to represent my wife or my sister. Who knows that you are the one? And 73,000 manual, manual verification. It's something dangerous to us. So I think what the two political parties are doing, for me, I don't see it. The conscious voices or the conscious voices should start talking.
Okay.
Let's leave the EC alone to work, so
Okay.
that we'll have peace of mind. 2020, life still continues. Then we all go on, and then we do it. Because if they fail, they are not fail themselves, they fail the entire country. I know we'll come to these issues as we are going
Yes,
along the
along
year.
the year.
Yeah. So I'll end
Obviously.
here so we can
Okay,
continue.
so let's
with
spend 2 minutes on
Yeah.
this one. Rescue country from corruption, President Rawlings. Now, the former President Jerry John Rawlings has called for pragmatic and conscious efforts towards rescuing the country from deep-seated corruption, which has permeated all sectors of our society.
Well, corruption is not a good thing. It's a canker. It destroys countries and society. So, for me, it's something that we must all fight.
Okay.
And when we're talking of corruption, all of us must be involved. Okay.
In fighting corruption.
Yes. So it is a responsibility that all of us must take up, because it's not, sometimes when we talk about corruption, we are looking at government.
We are
But
looking too
what
far
about-
at the politicians.
That is it. What about if I am supposed to come to work at 8 and I decide to come at 8:30? It's a way of corruption. Because at the end of the day, wastage, yes. At the end of the day, the company is going to be affected. Work hours is going to be reduced, and production is going to be affected.
Yeah.
So, we all of us must accept that fight. Then also, yeah, whatever way that we must do. This government is trying so hard to digitize everything.
Okay.
For me, that is also a very important way to fight corruption, because when
Alright.
everything is digitalized and digitized, then that interface of give me this, if you don't, I won't pay you, all those, that will be
cleared.
rooted out, and it also help improve our society. Then, most importantly, depends on our own attitude.
Okay.
Our own attitude. Don't say, if you don't give me this, I won't do what I am being paid to do. Something that you are being paid to do, you are there, that's why you are there. So if you don't give me a tip, I won't do it. No. If you do it, the person decides to give you a tip, that is coming from his heart, not demand it before you want to do. So it's a responsibility on all of us.
Okay. Okay. So this is me and
Yeah, the issue of corruption is got a twin, and the twin is bribery. I always want to put it corruption and bribery than corruption itself. Corruption entails a lot. But, I beg to differ from your assertion that we always look at the politician, because they are heading us. The politicians are the ones who are ruling this country. Everything that starts from the head.
Okay.
If we're able to, I agree, it's not only politicians who are corrupt, but we see them because we see them all the time. When you go to the churches, even the religious men are corrupt. Even in our homes, we are all corrupt. That's the problem. But I think it's a national canker. It's a canker which is destroying countries, it's destroying people, it's destroying a whole nation. And I can tell you several. We've had corruption from Nkrumah's time, corruption during Champion's time. All the coups we've had in Ghana have underpinning of corruption and bribery. Go to Kalabuli. So what I'm trying to say is that, and just last year, as I was saying, it's very interesting here, the government having corruption tag. We are looking at politicians because they use corruption as their campaign mantra to tag each other to get them out of power. But when we stop those things and we try to fight it from the top, I think the lower person too will know that, Charlie, if the president cannot, is solving corruption, or the higher people are solving corruption and bribery, we will be able to solve it downstairs. But I think it's not one man's fight, as it's saying. It needs a national consensus, a national mindset to fight. It's really destroying us, I'm telling you. But it all boils down to the fact that we don't have opportunities. We are greedy, we are selfish, we are, in fact, hypocrites. And when we change that mindset and love Ghana more, corruption will fight. So, Jerry, former President Rawlings was right. I agree with him, but it's not one. Let's do the
one-man
fight. We should do the act more than the talk. And I think the declaration of assets regime, when we enhance it, it will help to a larger extent to fight corruption. But corruption is everywhere, even in our churches.
Wow.
Yeah, forgive me for going a bit through.
That's okay. But I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for coming. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Okay.